Welcome to Tech in Translation, the podcast where we break down the complexities of today's most innovative technologies into something we can all understand.
Brought to you by Ironbow Technologies. We're committed to helping our customers across the government, education, commercial, and healthcare sectors turn their tech challenges into real, actionable outcomes.
At Ironbow, we believe that technology should be a tool for empowerment, not a source of confusion.
That's why each episode of Tech in Translation is designed to demystify the latest trends, tools, and technologies, making them accessible for everyone, whether you're a seasoned professional or just tech curious.
Join us as we translate complex tech into everyday language, one episode at a time.
Joining us today is Blake Babila, Director of U.S. Commercial Security Sales in Cisco, and Cory Jackson, Managing Director of Cybersecurity at Ironbow Technologies. Welcome, gentlemen, and thank you for joining.
Tom, thanks so much for having us. Excited to be here.
Hello, Tom.
All right, so we're going to dive right in. Blake, let's talk about the biggest priorities in cybersecurity today. What are customers' greatest needs?
Yeah, it's a great question, Tom. The biggest challenge I see customers facing today isn't a lack of security tools. It's really managing too many of them. Most organizations have accumulated dozens of point products over time. It's creating a lot of visibility gaps, operational complexity, and certainly increased costs. What we're seeing across the market is a shift towards platform consolidation. Customers want fewer vendors, better integration, and quite frankly, stronger outcomes. At Cisco, we're helping customers simplify through a platform approach that combines secure networking, identity, segmentation, threat defense, policy enforcement, solutions like our hybrid mesh firewall, secure access, Duo, ICE, secure workload. The list goes on and on, Tom. Customers consistently enforce security policies from the user to the application. Partners like Ironbow play a critical role in this with Cisco. Because technology alone isn't enough, customers often need help assessing their current environment and developing migration plans, and hard to find people to do it better than Ironbow.
So how is the pace of innovation changing the way we view and respond to threats?
Well, the attack surface has expanded dramatically. Applications are distributed across data centers, clouds, branch locations, remote users, even AI environments now. This is one of the many reasons that Cisco has been so focused on hybrid mesh firewall. Security can no longer rely on a single perimeter firewall protecting single network boundary. Security controls need to exist wherever applications and users reside. Hybrid mesh firewall extends protection across traditional firewalls, cloud firewalls, distributed enforcement points, and secure access while maintaining consistent policy management. In my experience, Ironbow really has stepped up helping customers navigate that transition by identifying where enforcement should occur, validating architectures, ensuring migration happens with minimal disruption to the end user business.
Cory, anything to add?
Yes. So, you asked how is the pace of innovation changing the way we view and we respond to threats. So it's really compressing the window that customers have to work in with the adoption of cloud and SaaS and remote work and having so many IoT devices on a network. Then you add AI agents. They all create a new business value, but they also broaden the attack surface significantly. And the practical issue is, and Blake kind of alluded to this, is that the perimeter is no longer the only place where we have to enforce security, right? We have to enforce that security everywhere across identity, the data itself and the devices and applications, and now the agents as well. So customers have to move more quickly and be more adaptive. And AI adds another layer. And, it can be helpful in helping defenders correlate signals and automate repetitive tasks. But it also gives attackers scale as well, right? They can do reconnaissance and phishing and impersonation at tremendous scale, so much more than they could do before. So Cisco frames this in like two directions from what I've seen, using the AI to strengthen cyber defense and securing AI systems and organizations that organizations are adopting. And I think that's the right way to frame things, because AI is a tremendous boon to productivity, but it does create a much broader attack surface than we had before.
You both mentioned a key word there that is obviously prevalent in the industry, and that's AI. Recent advances in AI have given people unprecedented abilities to prevent and launch attacks. Cory, what does that mean for organizations trying to keep pace?
It means that organizations need to treat AI as a security tool and capability, and also a governed business capability. There's risk from the attackers as well, but the risk is that the enterprise needs to adopt AI faster so that they can police the environment and enforce controls and increase their visibility so that they can have that increased business productivity. And then the question becomes, can I let my teams innovate with AI while protecting sensitive data and intellectual property, customer information, and all of that? That's where the governance piece matters. Security leaders need to know which parts of AI tools are being used and what data is being used in those tools and capabilities, and what business processes are actually dependent on agents. And that helps inform them on, can that output from those agents be trusted, right? So for AI systems built by the enterprise, the concern is broad, and it's broader than it was in a traditional application. And that's where solutions like AI defense can be of help to provide some of the visibility there for the models and the applications. So you can find some of the vulnerabilities in some of those models that potentially may be used in the environment, can help get some control over data leakage and put controls around prompt injection.
Let's dig a little deeper into that. How is AI enhancing organizations' ability to see vulnerabilities and address them in real time?
Vulnerability management is kind of evolving. It's becoming exposure management. And there's an important distinction because in traditional vulnerability management, a lot of us are familiar with that. You have a long list of CVEs. You're probably at some level managing it in a
Patch
spreadsheet.
Tuesday.
Right, exactly. And the challenge is that no organization can patch everything all at once, right? And the velocity at which vulnerabilities are going to start to be apparent and prevalent is going to increase because now attackers have AI tools to write exploit code, right? That's where AI can help security teams be faster and be more defensible in their decisions by taking that report that maybe said, you have 40,000 vulnerabilities, but what's actually pertinent to the organization, right? There may be 40,000 vulnerabilities, but what's actually relevant in an organization that could materially affect the business, it may only be 40. So using the tools that are available to us to be able to help correlate some of that information and get an understanding of what's actually relevant in the customer estate, using some of the things like around security cloud control and Cisco IQ can help customers whittle that down and make that attack surface more manageable.
Yeah, I would say, I think it puts us in a very unique position to help customers. Our philosophy as being the infrastructure leader is to embed security in the network fabric. And certainly as AI continues to get rolled out, security needs to be top of mind. But as it relates specifically to vulnerabilities, that's why I'm really proud to talk a little bit about Cisco Live Protect. It's a security feature actually on our Nexus and OS data center switches that helps mitigate vulnerabilities in real time without waiting for reboot or patch windows or a disruptive upgrade. Again, this goes back to our philosophy of that network and security is really fused together as one now.
So, Blake, how do innovations in secure networking and secure access enable organizations to mitigate cyber threats and be securely ready for AI?
Comes up quite a bit. Identity has become the new perimeter, Tom, but identity alone isn't enough. What I see as organizations adopt AI, they need to understand what users, devices, workloads, and applications are communicating with each other. And that's where segmentation becomes incredibly important. At Cisco, we believe segmentation is the most underutilized security control available today. Through Cisco Identity Services Engine, ICE, often referred to as secure workload, and combining those, customers can establish policy-based segmentation across campus networks, data centers, cloud environments, and even application workloads. If an attacker gains access to an environment, segmentation can help prevent lateral movement and really limits the blast radius of an attack. This becomes even more important as organizations deploy AI applications and AI agents that require access to sensitive data in business systems. Again, I'll compliment the work at Ironbow, as you guys have been instrumental in helping customers design segmentation strategies and with really strong, well thought out, executed phase deployments.
Well, let's talk about something juicy. Let's talk about the Cisco Cloud Control. What does it do and who benefits from it?
Well, it certainly was the talk of the town at Cisco Live last week, that's for sure. And often prior referred to as security cloud control, we've had this available for about 18 months now. It's something that we've been using from a security standpoint, and now to see the evolution, the impact that cloud control is ready to make for our customers. Customers often share with me the biggest challenge that their teams are facing is the operational complexity. Organizations are managing firewall segmentation policies, access controls, cloud environments, users all over the place from multiple consoles. Cisco Cloud Control provides a unified management experience across Cisco's security solutions, including hybrid mesh firewall deployments, but it can also be third-party firewalls as well that we can help customers gain visibility at layer 3 and layer 4. In many cases, providing them an off-ramp to move to a fully Cisco platform. For customers adopting our hybrid mesh firewall, cloud control becomes particularly valuable because it allows them to manage policy consistently across physical, virtual, cloud environments, and bringing in other products from the Cisco family into that. Things like ICE, again, giving that proverbial single pane of glass. This is the simplification that customers have been seeking from Cisco. I encourage anyone that has not seen cloud control to get with Ironbow and set up a demo immediately, as it is certainly changing the game and bringing a lot of value and simplicity and really reducing the amount of work and time that organizations are having to put in to try and manage their environments.
Cory, thoughts?
Yes. So more pointedly on the security side of things, security cloud control is what really enables that hybrid mesh firewall capability. Blake alluded to having that consistency in security policy enforcement. So being able to do that across Cisco firewalls, workload security, and then down into the network infrastructure is a big differentiator. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that there is some, announced capability to manage third-party firewalls as well as part of that capability. So I think that's a tremendous differentiator for Cisco, having that capability to have so many points of enforcement across the network and on the perimeter and in workloads and in so many places. That's a tremendous boon to an organization that's may already be using cloud control for security operations to now have some of that consistency and management outside of the security space as well, and be able to do that across the enterprise network.
Yeah, cloud control brings all of that together, really bringing that unified approach to network and security.
Nice. Cory, let's talk a little bit about PQC. What is PQC? Post-quantum cryptography. It's emerging as a major topic in networking and cybersecurity. What does that refer to?
So post-quantum cryptography, when we're talking about it, really refers to the suite of ciphers that will protect encryption in customer environments going forward, and really to protect those environments from quantum computers. Some researchers are saying it'll be anywhere between 2029 and 2035 before there will be a cryptographically relevant quantum computer. That means a quantum computer that can break most of our current traditional encryption. So think of RSA. So PQC, when it comes to like in a networking environment, when we're talking about Cisco's portfolio, they're a leader in that space when it comes to their portfolio and making sure that their portfolio of firewalls, routers, switches, all those devices that would need to encrypt traffic and have the capability to encrypt their software and their file systems and that sort of thing. They're the leader in that at the moment. A lot of our OEM partners are struggling to bring that capability to their portfolios. We do a lot of work in highly regulated environments, do a lot of work with the Department of War and the civilian federal government, where they have mandates, where they have to, by 2030, have all of their equipment capable of supporting PQC ciphers. But in the commercial space, they're dealing with a lot of the same threat actors that the federal government is dealing with. And the challenge is that those threat actors are harvesting information now so they could decrypt it later when that cryptographically relevant quantum computer is available. So, when customers see, the federal government is saying 2030 is the date, or maybe 2029 or 2035, they may feel as though they can wait. But I would encourage them not to. It's imperative that they move swiftly to get the IT landscape in their environment to a state where they can support PQC and migrate to post-quantum ciphers as soon as they can, because their trade secrets, their PII information, all the data that's valuable to them is being harvested by threat actors now, and eventually they'll be able to decrypt that.
I mean, it sounds like our partners are ready, but how are Ironbow industry partners like Cisco working together to help our customers become quantum ready?
Yeah, to complement Cory's point, this is a board level security concern now. I agree with Cory that I think we're still some ways away, but adversaries are already harvesting encrypted data with the expectation of decrypting it later. Cisco is taking a standards-based approach to quantum resilience by embedding quantum safe communication, secure boot, hardware-rooted trust, crypto agility comes to mind. This positions Cisco customers and Ironbow customers to begin their quantum safe journey today while reducing future migration risk.
Customers should really start doing that cryptographic inventory now. Where are they using public keys? Which systems have long-lived sensitive data? Where are the VPNs and the certificates? There are definitely tools in Cisco's toolbox, things like Cisco IQ, that can help them with that. And Ironbow as well has capabilities and services that can help customers deal with that challenge.
Listeners, rewind that a couple of times so you can take a good inventory of what you can do to be prepared for this. So, Blake, what does cybersecurity success look like in the year ahead? How is the measurement of success changing?
I think cybersecurity success is increasingly being measured by resilience rather than by pure prevention. Organizations know attacks are going to happen. The question becomes, how quickly can you detect them, contain them, and continue operating? That's why we're seeing growing interest in segmentation and hybrid mesh firewall architectures. When customers implement strong identity controls through the use of Duo and ICE as an example, segmentation through secure workload and visibility through Cisco XDR, and distributed enforcement through the hybrid mesh firewall, all managed, of course, through cloud control, they dramatically improve their ability to contain threats before they become business impacting events. So I think in short, success is no longer about having the most tools. It's about creating an architecture that reduces risk while enabling the business to continue to advance and move forward.
Cory, looking ahead, what is your final thought on how to prepare customers for a secure future?
My final thought is that security leaders shouldn't try to solve every emerging issue as a separate project. Things need to be looked at more holistically. AI security, zero trust, vulnerability management, secure access, PQC, all those things are connected. They're all interwoven, and they all depend on visibility, identity, policy, telemetry, governance. The organization that is best prepared are the ones that are simplifying now. And part of that simplification comes down to standardizing on a platform that they can reduce some of that unnecessary complexity and build an adaptable architecture. You have to know your assets, you have to know your identities, you have to know your data, and automate wherever you can, as long as you can keep the accountability clear. Those are my final thoughts around how the customers should prepare to secure for the future. Work with your partners who can help you translate the technology into technical roadmap that the business can understand. And I think that's where Ironbow and Cisco can provide a lot of value to our customers.
Blake, anything to add?
Yeah, I think it's well said, Cory. I would encourage customers to look at a true platform strategy. And a platform is not a variety of tools acquired by acquisition in the security space. A platform is something that includes the network component, the security component, the wireless component, all things that equal a customer's infrastructure. That's a platform, and that's what customers continue to be seeking from their relationship with Cisco and, of course, through Ironbow. So simply put, simplify and segment. The organizations that are best positioned for the future are those that are building secure architectures rather than accumulating more point products. Again, strong identity, as we've talked about, but that's the success we're seeing is invest, maximize the true value of an all-encompassing platform that includes all elements of the network.
Thank you, Cory and Blake, for sharing these forward-looking insights on how we're helping our customers remain secure and one step ahead of threat actors. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Tech in Translation on your favorite listening platform, and watch out for future webinars on the secure networking solutions you heard about today. For more insights on mission-focused innovation and technology trends, visit ironbow.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.